I'm going to start off by using this fabulous wall paint. It's called Magic Paint. I'm using the colour Dark Sand. I'm not using the roller right in this corner here because I'll get all the paint on the brickwork, and I'm just cutting in with this lovely little magic brush here. So we've got the Magic Paint in the Dark Sand colour, one coat on the wall, left it to dry overnight, and I've now marked out my picture frame because this is what we're going to be creating. We're going to be creating a picture on the wall. So I'm going to come in now with a darker colour, Vintage. Oh, this is so easy to paint with. Now time to get some texture on the wall, and for that we're going to be using Whitson's Impasto Plaster, specifically designed to allow the artist or decorative finisher to add texture to any interior decorative surface. This is a 5-litre tub and I reckon I need that much. So I'm just using some dyes and I'm just going to play around with colours until I get the colour I want. And this is a great way to deck out a wall that you don't want to plaster. And to apply this, I'm going to use a natural sea sponge. And then I'm going to come in and I'm just going to start dabbing. And I'm really stippling it on so I can get some peaks. I want a variation of peaks and flat surfaces. So I've got enough material on the surface now. I'm going to go away and let this dry off for about half an hour. Now that it's started to dry around the edges, it's a different colour. So I now know it's time for me to come in with my trowel and start flattening the peaks down. So if you feel comfortable with a trowel, you can come in and just knock all those peaks down. You have to be relatively light-handed with this. You don't want to squash the texture completely. You want to leave that dimension there. And always clean your tool with either water or a baby wipe. I'm wiping it on an old towel here. Mine has started to dry up a little bit, so I am spritzing it. And I'm not putting my trowel flat. I'm holding it a little bit like that. But it does take a little bit of practice. If you don't have a trowel or you don't feel comfortable with a trowel, you can use a business card or something that's relatively flexible. This needs a really light hand so that you're not squashing all that lovely texture completely. You just want to take the tops off. I'm going to pre-paint my trim, which is also going to go on the wall. It's going to be part of the design. The wood you bend trims need to be heated up before you can open them up. So it's nice and bendy now. And I'm pre-painting these to put on the wall because I don't want to be sat with a little paintbrush for hours and hours and hours. And there we go. So I'm now pre-painting these mouldings, and I'm using the wall paint. My wall is almost dry now, so I'm going to come in and do some stenciling on top of the lovely texture to give it more dimension. So I'm going to start off by using the Spider Mandala by Hometalk. I have applied a little bit of low tack spray mount just to help me keep it on the wall. Same colour, just give it more dimension raised on the surface. And there we have the Spider Mandala. And there's the Would You Mandala. And there's our Moroccan Melody. I've decided 3 mandalas are not enough for all this wall. So I'm just going to come in with the Whitson's plaster in this neutral colour that it comes in. Right guys, I am just sanding the surface down with a sandy hander, really cool little glove. It's got Velcro on it. I've got a 320 grit on here and I'm just taking off any loose areas. I'm going to use a very soft lint-free cloth with a Hometalk metallic pastes, and we're using blue Prussian. I'm just getting some on my rag there, and you can see there it's sitting in all those nooks and crannies. I'm just rubbing it right into those nooks and crannies, then coming in with the water. So now it's time to get the highlighting on the metallic. I'm going to be using Hometalk pigments in copper. It's very, very dense, so a little bit goes a long way. You can use any top coat sealer. You can make the consistency of your own choice. Again, these are all water-based products, so you can mix them with water. So there you have it, liquid coffee. I'm just gliding over the smooth bits. I don't want to get this on too thick. And I'm being as gentle as I can here. Now, when you're doing stuff like this, you have to know when to stop. So I think I'm going to stop here. I'm not putting any more copper on it. So now it's time to pop the Would You Bend mouldings on the surface. I've had them on the griddle and they're nice and bendy. Just look at that. Oh. So when you applying Would You Bend mouldings, always use a good quality wood glue all over the back of the Would You Bend moulding. Now, some people do want a bit of a safety measure and they apply tacks. And this is a rather thick moulding, so it will stay bendy for quite a long time. Now, if you do have any excess glue, you can just wipe it off with a baby wipe or an earbud. So I'll get on with the other three now, and then we can go on to the trim work. Always keep your trims in a coil, it retains the heat longer. So I'm now working out how much trim I need to cut. So I'm not a mitron expert, so I'm going to use this ruler. I know it's square, and I'm going to place one over the other and just come in diagonally and cut through my Would You Bend mouldings. So I've got a bit there that's hindering me pushing the moulding in and getting it nice and snug. I've cut it a little bit short, but just warming up and bend it into all those lovely contours. So even if you do make a little mistake, you can stretch your Would You Bend mouldings. Right, the wall is now finished, and all I have to do is cover up these stencils with dark sand paint. And there you go, she's finished. Thanks for watching Home Talk, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.